I love how God put this together. Like, I wasn't even trying. And this morning, he literally gave me the word that I needed about covenant. Covenant is something we have in common. It's a covenant promise. Coming to Christ makes us have a covenant in Christ, have access to him. But there's other covenants, like David and Jonathan, they established a covenant. 1 Samuel 23:15, a renewed covenant. David was in the wilderness, and he saw Saul. He came to take his life. But then Saul's son Jonathan came to him and encouraged him in his faith in God. And he said, "Don't be afraid. My father Saul will never lay a hand on you. You yourself will be king over Israel, and I'll be your second in command. Even my father Saul knows it's true." Then the two of them made a covenant. The Lord's presence was there. Afterwards, David remained, and Jonathan went home. David's narrow escape. So there came a time, and Saul said, "Isn't it true that David's hiding among us?" So in verses 19 through 27, Saul was pursuing David, Saul and his army. And then something happened. The Philistines raided the land, so Saul broke off his pursuit of David and went to engage the Philistines. Therefore, that place was named the Rock of Separation. From there, David went up and stayed in the strongholds of En-Gedi. Then, chapter 24, David spares Saul. When Saul returned from pursuing the Philistines, he was told, "David is in the wilderness." So Saul took 3,000 of Israel's fit young men and went to look for David and his men in front of the rock at the wild goats. When Saul came to the sheep pens along the road, a cave was there, and he went in to relieve himself. David and his men were staying in the recess of the cave. So they said to him, "Look, this is the day the Lord told you about. I will hand your enemy over to you, so you can do with him whatever you desire." Then David got up and secretly cut off the corner of Saul's robe. David was not an evil man, and he was a wise man, and he absolutely could have looked at that as a word from God where he could have killed Saul. But he knew not to touch God's anointed, no matter what he was doing to him. And that was David's heart. Sponge.
Yet, then it starts to make us question God, and it, therefore what we believe will always affect our behavior. So it will start to affect our behavior.
The enemy will try to take you back. So with this TMJ thing going on, I felt like it was getting better, like a little bit. It's not as tense, like it's not as bad, but at the same time now I'm dealing with the vision is bothering me, And my neck is so bad I had to lay in bed all day yesterday. Gosh, so this is a praise report. I literally, and I didn't even realize it was this bad, but I was like, okay, this was a couple days ago before my neck thing got so bad. I was in the garage cleaning it out. The garage was just a hot mess. And then the last time I cleaned out the garage, it was when my daughter graduated from high school and was going to college, and had a big party for her. And I can't remember if that was right. It's been 3 years since I've cleaned the garage, and her stuff from her graduation was still in there. Or because he's the one, the Bible says, if you remain in me, I will remain in you, and you will bear much fruit. So when you remain in God, when you start to seek God out, he will come to you, and he's the one that does the pruning. He's the one, but it takes time. But it's like, it's up to you to say, you know what, I'm done with this, and God, I want you more than my sin. And sometimes there's certain sins we can't let go of until later on. But I just want to say, just don't be that stubborn. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to close my eyes because whatever's going on, I just keep wanting my eyes closed. And this is like too much muscle movement, and I need to just like let my skin sag. I feel better because, you know, he hurt his back, and he's like, yeah, I should be up, you know, and at it, you know, in a week. And I'm like, you know, I should be too, because I actually, like, even though I'm like thinking, you know, feeling still, you know, I'm like, God, you're good no matter what. I still was like, God, am I gonna get better? But yes, this is just it'll get better. It'll get better. But yeah, I just thought that was funny.
Darn it. What the world? I don't know, it always goes that way.
So my brain is sharper today. Okay, so the last recording I did, it was just not looking good, not feeling good. I'm still having like some pains, but I discovered that I had a lot of, have you heard of the disease saying it out loud, I can't say it. Sojourns syndrome. So it's autoimmune. So these things run in my family. I'm not trying to claim anything. It just is what it is. So dry eyes, all that, dry mouth, all that. But of course, it's like, I always try to get to problems before they progress to, like, you know, where you can hardly really do anything about it. But I had a lot of symptoms of that because it also linked to throat, digestion, like all the things that I've been dealing with, especially since I had COVID, and I had my diaphragm was spastic, and I had problems here, which was why it was a big deal that I could start singing again and like talking out loud without it hurting. But regardless of if I have that, you know, going on, I figured out a way to fix it, to get better. And that is, and this has been like kind of a thing all along, is electrolytes. But not just electrolytes, but like definitely magnesium. But what I started to do was take this vitamin D. But obviously when you do vitamin D, you have to do K. You have to do it together, or something with the calcium gets stuck or something like that. Not medical advice, but of kale, and just crunches all the nutrients and smushes it all into one, you know, shot for you, so to speak. And it has, you know, instead of eating all of it, which if you eat a whole stalk of kale and you're chewing on it, sure, there's amazing health benefits, but then you can only eat so much. So if you shove it all
in a juice, you get more servings of those vitamins and minerals that we are so depleted from today. And I know it sounds like I am selling something, but I am just expressing the benefits of juicing and juicing well and what God is doing. And so today, I drank it all, but I had some of my juice, and the one I had was I was like, oh, let me try these new gummies because I'm into gummies. So that means it has water in it. It honestly isn't working very well for me, and it's lavender, chamomile, digestive tract. It's vanilla bean slowing down. And this one has cane sugar, like not the best. So I really wanted gummies, so I started these gummies, and it's only been 2 days. I'll share some of my other ones later. But this one's Nadia's favorite, my oldest daughter's favorite, and these drinks have been so helpful. One of my favorites though is I call it the Ocean Glow. It's blue and it has spirulina in it. Now that's the super electrolyte one. Like, I love it. So anyways, I'm blabbing because I'm back at the park. Like, I haven't been here in months, guys. Like, mentally, cognitively, I couldn't do it. And suddenly, cognitively, I'm good. So I'm sharing because it's like your situation might not look good. And in a split second, suddenly God will turn it around. Like I've been seeing 1, 2, 3, 4. That means something is about to happen. And I've been seeing 13 again so much. And 13 is the victory. Remember a couple months ago, I think February, March, we had that word victory. Esther and Mordecai, like that victory, it's still playing out. It's absolutely playing out. Your situation might not look good, but to get through the finish line, I want to encourage you to fast and pray however you can. Even if you just, instead of eating breakfast at 8 a.m., maybe try 10, try 12, just do a little bit, and God will honor you in your praying and fasting, and He will start to speak to you. He will start to break through on whatever you need to deal with, or whatever issues are there that are blocking you from your breakthrough. And and I would even say try to go several days praying, fasting, locking hands with somebody, confessing your sins, crying out to God, going to the park, going somewhere, a closet, a bathroom where you can have your own alone time with God for a while. That's what I came up here for. This has been my sanctuary for years, the place that I go run to for years. And when you have no place to run because you can't physically do it, it's hard. But in that hard place, in that jail, like Joseph, he couldn't go anywhere. He was stuck in a jail, in a pit. I mean, at least for me, I had a bed and a roof over my head and good food. And but everybody has their own Joseph moment, their own Job moment. And it's hard, but in that time, God does such a good work. I'm thinking about the roses, the rose bush that has to be pruned. It has to be pruned like every single year or something. And I don't know exactly, but like my grandfather who just passed away, who I posted a video about, I encourage you to watch that. It might seem boring at first, but it's a really good testimony about how he lived his life, and it's very encouraging. But he had the most beautiful rose bushes I have ever seen in my life. They were huge, they were trimmed, and now that I'm dealing with like the small rose bush that has no roses on it, I don't know how he did it. Like,
So to sum it all up, there might be one crocodile left on the loose. The other 5, which means God's grace, they're put back in the pond, and they are behind the fence. And in your home, in your house, you might have to continue to sweep up the debris, sweep up the enemy, get it out. And the only way you can do that is through that fasting and through that praying both together. Some will not leave without prayer and fasting. And Leviathan, the crocodile, represents Leviathan, Jezebel spirits, controlling spirits, manipulation, narcissistic control, and those type of demonic entities, and they cannot leave unless they are taken from the root. And that's what God is doing right now. He will not relent.